It is a beautiful day on the lakefront. The sun is out. What could possibly go wrong? Bears need to get their first win. Pregame starts right now. Welcome into the CHGO Bears Pregame Show. It is what we've all been waiting for. Matt Eberflus's big return to Soldier Field.
The Flus.
He got on that plane to Detroit last year. Never made it back until now. What's going on, everybody? Adam Hoge, Mark Carman, Corey Wootton in the house. Braggs got lost near the stadium. Now he's at the tailgate. We'll hear from him on the postgame show. We got a lot to talk about, boys.
You know, Lord knows that I would never be unprofessional on this show. And
Oh, boy.
hold something.
Those pants are unprofessional.
You don't like my brown pants? These are
They're
bear-down pants.
They're very brown.
Yeah, but they're bearsy.
You look like you should be riding a horse.
Brown pants with black socks with
Phil Snow is in the chat. I'm wearing a horse pants. We're winning today. You know, the first time I think Matt Eberflus did a great job with the Bees when he was here. Seemed to have a lovely family. I think he did his very best that he could as the Bears head coach, all the things. But it was personal with me and Matt Eberflus from day one when he just showed up with his boring Matt Eberflus. And I'm so happy that we have a head coach that can speak honestly right now. We'll say things like he said this week that we don't have championship caliber habits, and it's just got to be a whole lot better. So I don't wish the Flus any ill will, but I do hope the Bears absolutely annihilate the Flus today.
Yes, and I hope defensively for them, the Cowboys don't have their best game this season, right this week, because that would be terrible, especially, you know, given his history, he's fired the whole bit. I know he wants to get back at him. He knows Caleb very well. So this could be a game for him when he's looking at, you know, how to game plan against him. Hey, let's heat him up. Let's get pressure. Let's get him uncomfortable. So the Flus has got some things up his sleeve. He might have some local honey to distract Caleb.
Yeah.
You know, so we never know what he might do today.
Never know what's up Flus's sleeve. We learned that.
It is my dream that the Bears play well today and they do some celebration that is
Beekeeper-esque.
beekeeper.
Like bees on you, like you're swatting them out.
Like
Spell.
How about spell hits out in the end zone?
Oh, what if they all like
Yeah, if you
you can
somehow
three people on the H?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
You
Whatever
could do that.
Yeah.
Whatever it is,
That would be hilarious.
something of that ilk would be
Local honey right by the goalpost. Put it out, get some spoons.
yeah. Slick back the hair. Maybe
Some
get a
beeswax.
little beard action going on here.
Well,
have some fun with it.
Let's talk about what matters most today, as it is Bears and Cowboys. A little bit over an hour from now, we will have you dialed in here. We'll get your inactives in a second, tell you who's in and who's out. There will be a Bear making his Bear debut today. We'll tell you that in a second. And Adam Johns is out at Soldier Field. We will check in with him around 2:45. We'll start with what matters most, though. And for me, guys, it is limiting negative plays on offense. The Bears are going to have to play. This is the type of the game where whoever has the ball last might win, in my opinion. And that's if the Bears can keep up. Because I think wishing for a lot of stops from the defense today is exactly that, a wish. To be able to keep up, the Bears have to be nearly perfect on offense. Now, I said limit negative plays because, once again, we have seen no evidence that they're going to be able to do that. There's going to be a false start at some point. There's going to be, a holding. There's going to be a delay game. There's going to be issues with the cadence. Again, remember, they're going back home. They're going to try to run all that cadence stuff, and we need to see improvement. But if you improve and you limit that to the point that you can still hit explosive, which the Bears have been doing. They've been hitting explosive plays, and try to keep up with Dak Prescott and the Cowboys, then you'll have a chance to win in the fourth quarter. So that is, to me, what matters most today. Not only in the short term, but also the long term. So short term today in order to win, but long term, they got to get over all that nonsense and start to put this thing together.
That's a great one. I'm going to lean into another thing that Ben Johnson said this week, which was that the tight ends not getting involved are on him, which I don't know if he needed to fall on that sword, but he did. So, look, you drafted Colston Loveland 10th overall. You also have a very productive tight end in Cole Kmet. You have a quarterback who I would think would love to have some easy completions, hitting his guys. You can make him higher up in the progression. Let's get it going. So to me, it's getting something going offensively outside of Rome Odunze. And maybe that could be DJ, maybe it can be Alameda, maybe it could even be Luther Burden. But to me, like, the easiest way to get it going is to get the tight ends going. Colston Loveland was very productive in training camp, somewhat productive in the preseason. Let's see Colston Loveland have a day today.
Every quarterback's best friend is usually that tight end. You look at some of the best quarterbacks in the league, the common denominator a lot of times is the tight end position. And for me, it's got to be on the defensive side of the ball, because what we saw last week, them putting up a 50-burger, you can't have that back-to-back weeks. But my challenge is Dennis Allen. How are you going to call this game, right, as far as pressure goes? Because if you don't pressure Dak, you saw what he did last week. You know the Shakira thing that he does with the hips? He's going to be doing that all game if you can't pressure him. So, Dennis Allen, what are you going to do? Because Montez Sweat, Deo, Jervon Dexter and them haven't been able to get the pressure with 4 that you like. How are you going to dial it up to affect a guy like Dak Prescott? Because if he has all day out there, he's making a sandwich, he's doing a Shakira dance, he will throw for 400 yards passing this game. So, Dennis Allen, my challenge to you, how are you going to get pressure on Dak?
There's so many great angles you could take today.
I was going to say they need all of this. They need all this, and it's unfortunate that this was. I mean, we were looking at this game as one that the Bears should win, a couple weeks ago, and now it's like, man, they got to play really well just to win it. It's a not good. I still don't think this Cowboys team is that great. I mean, their defense has been horrible to this point.
Well, as I was trying to get myself to an optimistic point of view, look, Dallas had a great win last week. They were able to fight off a red-hot Russell Wilson. Their kicker was completely insane, and they pull off a win. So, like, you would think that perhaps Dallas would say, we won a game. Whereas the Bears had the worst loss that they've had in a long time, which is saying something, but it was horrible, embarrassed. So you would think the Bears are supremely motivated to get their first win of the year. Ben Johnson at his press conference on Friday, the most intense I've seen Ben, calling out their work ethic early in the week. So as far as like everything on the line today, it feels that way for the Bears. It doesn't feel that way for Dallas. Does that matter?
I think it matters. I think if you're, it's fun as we go through these predictions, whatever game you're looking at in the NFL, the margin for error is so thin. All these teams are good. At any given week, you can have a team. So you can talk yourself into a win. It's not college football where, you're like, this team has no chance to win today. Hopefully they just keep it within the spread.
Illinois.
In the NFL, you can talk yourself into a win just based on the things you're talking about, emotions, the mental aspect of the game. And so I definitely think there's a path to victory for the Bears today. And I think that your point there is a good one, that who's the more desperate team today? The Bears are the more desperate team. And that can be dangerous sometimes when you're a Cowboys team that's not that good. Your letdown margin is not a lot. So if they let down at all just because they managed to pull off that overtime win against the Giants, like, the Bears should then come in and win. But, like, when you start to look at it logically from just the X's and O's, the matchup standpoint, and you see how good this Cowboys offense has been so far, they clearly have the best unit of the 4 main units we're talking about.
So let's talk about that for a second. Like, if you're the Bears and you don't have Jalen and you don't have Kyler and you have a underachieving Tyreek to this point, are you allowing him to follow CeeDee Lamb around? Or are you just going to line up the way you're going to line up, and whatever the Cowboys do, then you figure it out from there?
Who's following CD Lamb?
Is it Tyreek Stevenson?
Or are you going to let Nashawn follow?
I think they'll just play sides
you just
at
play
that
sides.
point.
Okay.
But Dennis Allen, I think this
Sides and pray, huh?
talking about the pressure though, I think that's key. Like
Loose.
if I'm Dennis Allen, I am bringing multiple blitzers at this point. I do not want Dak to have all day back there because they got some talented guys that can carve you up. You look at their wide receiver core. I mean, each of those guys could go over 100 easy. So you got to heat them up. You have to in this game plan.
And for the record, I did ask Tyreek kind of like, do you think that you'll be following CD around? He did not seem to think that was going to be the case.
Did he have the same reaction I just had?
Almost. He was a little more optimistic about it because I think he believes in himself because he's a good Tyreek that way.
Yeah, okay. Let's get to the inactives. Let's see who is in and out in this game for the Bears. And also the Cowboys, who have their own injuries to worry about, but Kyler Gordon, TJ Edwards, Case Keenum. Obviously, we knew all these guys would be out. Jalen Jones was ruled out. DeMarco Jackson, I believe, was questionable, but he's out. And then Ozzie Trapillo, inactive for the second straight week. But the name not on this list, guys, Shamar Turner, the defensive tackle out of Texas A&M. The Bears drafted in the second round.
It's audition tape, right? Let's see what you can do, baby.
Somebody, hey, a second rounder is playing.
Well, yeah, and listen, Shamar, if you get an opportunity out there today, not that you need it, I'm sure you're insanely motivated, your first NFL game, but there is an opportunity for Shamar Turner here. Grady Jarrett looks like he's playing on one leg right now. He's going to grind it out because he's a winner and he's a Grady Jarrett, and that's why he got paid the big money. But they're in the middle of that interior. Trevon Dexter, didn't have a huge game last week either. The Bears are begging for somebody to make an impact, and this is a dude that has a nasty attitude to him. So I hope he gets some opportunity today. I'd like to see him.
So when he was coming out, he's a guy that a lot of people thought could first-round talent, a lot of injuries and different circumstances, but when he's healthy, he does have the explosion. He does have the get-off. And when you look at the common denominator, the 3 technique is the engine that drives this defense. So if he can get in there and maybe make some splash plays, he didn't have to be perfect in there, but if he can get off the ball and penetrate, it makes everything that much easier. It makes the linebacker's job easier, the other defensive linemen. So hopefully he can come out, bring some energy, bring some of that explosion, because that's what they're lacking. I still look at a guy like Trevon Dexter, has all the talent in the world, but at times he doesn't get off the football. Right. And in this league, to be successful, to be a disruptor in there, you have to get off the football. And that's something we haven't seen from him consistently in 2 years. I kind of thought this year would be his year where he really, ascends to the next level. It's still early on, but he needs to get off the football. You can't be the last guy off the football and expect to penetrate and disrupt and get sacks out there.
Do you remember in training camp when Dennis Allen, there was a big deal made about the up-downs, and you got to pay the toll, and the amount of work that they were doing? There was such a buy-in at that point that the defense was on another level. They were doing things the right way. The accountability was there. It just didn't show up at all last week. So I would have made them do up-downs all week.
Well, they just did on the first day of training camp. That was the toll you had to pay.
Yeah, let's do it again. Every time you lose by 31 points, we're doing 38,000 up-downs.
Up-downs. I have horror stories from Pee Wee football of doing up-downs. Did 100 one time before practice.
Puke?
No, I didn't.
See?
Steven, how many up-downs do you have to do if you show up 30 minutes before the show starts?
38,000 as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let's think about this. Carm was elite at the tailgate. And, Hoge, you should know that I've got 1,000 people that I want to shout out, but I'm not even going to bring that up on the pregame show because they're not watching right now. We're going to talk about it on postgame.
Hey, you learned.
So you should be happy with that. I had some amazing convos today. So shout out to everybody that came to our pregame that are not watching right now, but you should come next week in Vegas.
Come to Vegas.
Come to Vegas.
Yep. Key inactives for the Cowboys include Deron Bland. We knew he was out, but that's a big one for them, who they just extended.
Plus the center.
Reddy Stewart filling in for Deron Bland. And then Jadeveon Clowney, who they signed, is also inactive. He was kind of 50-50 to play in this one, so he is also out. My guy Jaden Blue, Texas running back, I don't know what he has to do to play, but they've had him inactive every single week too. So maybe it's not going well for Blue so far. Yeah. You're still my boy, Blue. All right. We'll take our first time out. We'll come back and got some locker room sound to get to, and also our picks for the game coming up as well from Bet365. But first, hey, with the Bet365 early payout offer, you're a winner if your team goes up by 17 points with an instant payout on straight bets and parlay selections marked as winners.
Vikings fans crushed
I can tell
it
you
today.
right now, yeah, Vikings already did that today. The Rams already did that today.
Bears.
We got another one?
Bears.
Bears are calling. I doubt it.
Dallas.
Carolina's up 16 right now, so they get another field goal. Can't rule that out. Hey, you can download the app, use code CHGO365 when you sign up. They got the $10 safety net bet on Thursday Night Football. Sunday Night Football, there's a $365,000 jackpot. Monday night, 50% super profit boost token on same-game parlays. Breaking news from Bet365. New customers now get $200 in bonus bets when you bet $5. Win or lose. Sign up. Use code CHGO365. Deposit 10. Place a bet 5. You'll get $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins or loses. Bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, player props, futures, and more. Whatever the moment, never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 plus. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER in-app only.
And if you're looking for somewhere to watch the game today or the Cubs at home next week, go to our friends at Almost Home Tavern right next to Wrigley. Chef-driven, elevated bar food. The Smash Burger is insane. So is their tavern-style pizza. Wall-to-wall TVs. CHGO diehard members, massive Bears fans are there all over the place. You could talk football. You could talk baseball. Hey, when hockey and basketball get going, do that too. Daily specials, happy hours. This is the place. Go check out our friends at Almost Home Tavern. They're just a block north of Wrigley Field. Ideals for pregames, postgame, during game, the whole thing with the Cubbies. And yes, weather's beautiful still. They got a covered beer garden with TVs. Check out our friends at Almost Home Tavern, Pools, Darts, Big Butt Hunter, Shuffleboard. Almost Home is your place away from home. Big Buck Hunter is a great game.
Yeah. What about the one you said?
Yeah. I think that I said buck, but if I said butt, then I'd like to apologize to all the big buck hunters out there, because that is a game that deserves the right name being called out.
Yeah.
Don't be nasty now.
But, you know.
It's like, you know the scene in Rookie of the Year? Did he just say funky butt loving? That was Steven and me when you did that.
Almost Home is the place to be.
For all types of games you want to play.
Yeah. Shout out my friend Donnie, by the way, who is my favorite person in the history of favorite people.
Okay.
Where to now, Adam?
It is time for our Bet365 pregame picks. You can sign up, use code CHGO365, deposit 10, place a bet for 5, and you'll get $200 in bonus bets. If your bet wins or loses, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, player props, futures, and more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 plus. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling, and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER in-app only. This is what we're working with today. Steven, why don't you tell us about this same-game parlay we got on the screen?
All right, so this actually got a little bit easier. I took Olamide Zaccheaus over 22.5 yards. I've seen that line move down to 19.5 now. Now, everyone's focusing on Rome Odunze, on CeeDee Lamb, maybe a little bit George Pickens, and that's where you could get a little bit of value on some of the secondary receivers. So that's why I went there. Caleb Williams over 233.5 pass yards. Listen, we all think this game's going to be a shootout. We'll get to our predictions later. You're going to see a lot of predictions in the 50s for the total points. For that to happen, Caleb Williams needs to throw for a lot of pass yards. And Brandon Aubrey, this guy is maybe the best kicker in football right now. He has an absolute leg on him. 2+ field goals seems like a lock for me.
Yeah. I also like Colston Loveland to get 3 catches. A lot of talk this week about how they want to get the tight ends more involved, and I think there's been some frustration too in the lack of usage of these draft picks. I think that's one of the reasons why you're seeing Shamar Turner up today, and so I feel like Colston Loveland will be, I don't want to say force-fed, but definitely schemed up to get
Like that.
a couple catches on plays that are designed to go to him, and then maybe there's one extra one where, Caleb just gets to him in the read, and they get him the ball plus 215 on 3 catches. I like those odds as well. And then the last one, DJ Moore, basically they use him as a running back or not. Over 2.5 rushing yards. I like this one because I feel like we saw them use him so much out of the backfield in training camp. You got to think he gets like at least 1 carry. Maybe it's an end around, maybe, all types of stuff. So can he get 3 yards with a couple opportunities?
I think
so.
It comes down to, did they like what they saw with him in week 1? Because they didn't use him last week. So that feels like it's a hard one to bet. But
they did too much of it in camp for that to have just been like we're going to do this once in the opener.
Fair.
You know what I mean? Like, It was too much part of the offense. I feel like they're going to go back to it more.
Yeah.
Well, it looks beautiful outside right now, but if the forecast is correct and there is rain, that usually leads to more run plays as well. That could help out your DJ Moore bet.
There you go.
Is there still a chance of rain? Last time I looked, it looked like it was going to be fine.
Yeah. You guys also mentioned Brandon Aubrey, and I think people are kind of up to speed on his story, but this is one of the more interesting career paths to actually being in the NFL. The dude played soccer at Notre Dame. He was a first-round selection in the 2017 MLS draft. He done doing that. Guy goes into the corporate world. His wife and him are watching football. His wife's like, "You can miss field goals like that guy." So then he starts working out. He ends up in the USFL. He impresses. The Cowboys give him a shot in 2023, and now he's 28 years old, and he's a Pro Bowler, and he's booting them from 8,000 yards. I don't know if you're that talented out there, but it is a lesson, and like literally anything's possible if you put your mind to it. That dude was whatever. He was obviously very talented, first-round draft pick, MLS and whatnot. But he literally, in his middle of his 20s, like, you know what, I could be an NFL kicker, and then he went out and did it. That's amazing.
You make kicks when you need to, you'll be on any roster.
He's got a huge leg. It's insane.
Not like our kicker.
No, not like our kicker. We were getting ready to start our post game last week, and I looked at the TV, and Dallas ran a running play to set up a field goal, which was the field goal that went forced overtime, right? But it was like in passing because we had to like start our show, and I was like, did he just settle for like a 60-yard field goal?
He did.
And then I never saw anything until the end of the game where I saw they won, and I was like, that's insane.
It's got to be nice to have a kicker that
they're like at the logo, they're at the star in the middle of the field.
Can hit a 60-yarder.
And it's like handoff 60-yarder, no problem.
Yeah, if we get over like 52, we're like, I don't know. Maybe we should punt.
I'll give you another prop, too, just because I like the 2 field goals from Brandon Aubrey, but you can also do over or under 8.5 points total from him in this game. And if you're thinking a lot of touchdowns, too, he could have 4, maybe even 5, just extra points.
That's true.
So those points start to add up for kickers really, really fast.
All right. You can, by the way, because you're in here, Brad Biggs tweeting out the Cairo Santos pregame, and he hit from 57 to 52, but did not hit from 60. So whatever that's worth, Hoge, the leg has not improved going into week 3.
His range is 50 to 55, and he's actually usually pretty good from that range.
I want to say his career long's 56, right?
57? I don't know. I think he hit a 57 in the preseason, too.
I just quoted that on 57 and 60 he hit from. Came up short from 62.
Oh, he hit from 60.
He hit from 60. Short from 62.
Now, what if somebody was trying to block it?
Yeah, his trajectory is very low.
That might change the formula, yes. Fair.
All right. There's another Cowboy-Bear connection in this that not sure as many people realize, but Deshaun Wright was a third-round pick of the Dallas Cowboys, and Al Harris was his DB's coach in Dallas. Deshaun Wright ended up getting traded to the Vikings before last season, where he played 1 year, and now he's a Bear, and it's been a pretty good story. And he, with Jalen Johnson out, is going to be back out there today facing his former team, the team that drafted him. Mark Carman caught up with Deshaun Wright in the locker room this week.
All right, Deshaun, you when you got here, of course, you wanted to contribute as much as possible, but there's even more on your plate now. How are you kind of taking in like how much this team needs you?
I mean, they mean a lot, especially like just taking the opportunity on me after being released from Minnesota, and then I mean this opportunity is it doesn't come often, so you just got to go out there and just take advantage of it.
Yeah. Does it matter to you, or maybe let me ask that differently? Are they moving you around like, hey, you might be covering the slot, you might be covering the X, it could be everywhere, or is it more like this is what you're going to be doing?
I mean, I think the style of football we play, like you could end up anywhere, so you definitely prepare for that.
This guy over there in the corner, we can't see. What are you guys going to miss most about not having him on the field?
I think really just you miss a Pro Bowl, All-Pro type guy, someone who can, like I said, just take care of one side of the field and just play elite ball. So that, and then I mean he's been in the meeting still, kind of still being interactive and talking. So we still have that part. So.
Would you ideally, in this situation, hey, this is your guy, you're going to trail him all day like you got CD or you got George or whatever it is, would you want to do that, or do you?
I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind it. I mean, every time you go out there, like, I don't care who's in front of me. I want to compete. So if I had to, I wouldn't mind. So, yeah.
Does this feel like, I don't know, Super Bowl-y this Sunday? Like, hey, we got to get this thing going in the right direction.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say Super Bowl-y, but you definitely want to kind of want to take the right step forward and go get a win. And then it's a good opponent, so it'll be fun. And I think we're gonna go out there and get it done for sure.
You hear any whispers of anybody in there saying we want to go beat our former head coach?
We haven't heard it, but I mean, Shotty was. I was there with Shotty, and definitely want to go get that win against Dallas.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
I think you meant the other coach.
Yeah, he did, or I did, but
he was not here last year.
Yeah. Well, I was hoping he was getting it from other guys in there that it was a conversation.
My biggest takeaway from that interview is we got to figure out how to get these microphones that I have in your hands for your interviews.
But
what's with all the background noise?
Right. Yeah. So Woot's talking about it too. I've been saying this for a while. You would never know going in the Bears locker room that they're not winning games. Yeah. In the 3-14 year, in the 7-10 year, in the 5-12 year, and now in the 0-2 year. It doesn't feel like a losing locker room in there. And
doesn't
you heard it all
like
right there.
How many times do we hear the B word?
I mean, they're hanging out.
The thing is, that's what worries me is the fact that you're 0-2 and you're goofing around and having a good old time. It's one thing if you're winning games, right, if they were 2-0 at this point or 1-1 even, but you had a 50-burger put up on you, right? And there's a time and a place you're going to have fun and all that, but there's some times where you got to focus in, right? You got to talk to reporters, talk about what's going on this week, but there's too much of that, and I don't like that. And that's what we talked about with the show with Azuma and Briggs, is the fact, the lack of the leadership. There's nobody setting the precedence of how to be a pro, what you're supposed to do. And it seems like it's a free-for-all. Because there's no doubt in my mind, you see stuff like that, you know, like you said, you're in the locker room a lot.
Yeah. Well,
does that surprise you that they had 50 points put up on them? Does that surprise you?
Well, it did, because I thought that Dennis Allen would get this defense up to, and I thought that Ben Johnson would have some level of how are we going to contain Detroit.
Yeah.
So yes, but to what's going on there as far as the focus, not necessarily.
Because at the end of the day, the coaches can only take you so far, right? The players, the leadership on this team needs to rally together, because you're not going to play perfect all the time. You're going to have series where you do bad, where they drive on you, but it's how you make those adjustments, right? The coaches make the adjustments. The players right the ship. They have no leaders that are setting the precedent, saying, hey, we need to do this. We need to focus. We need to lock in. And you saw what happened last week when they had 50 points put on them. There's nobody coming together saying, hey, we need to do this, that, and the other. They're making the same mistakes. A guy like Kevin Byard, that's a veteran guy, eyes in the backfield twice. And this is a guy that's been around for a long time. So when he sees that and a younger guy is watching him, what do you think that's sending a message for the team? This is okay? This is acceptable? No, it's not. So that's what we're seeing creep into this Bears team. Hopefully they'll right the ship this week and get some of those issues corrected, because if not, Dak will put up some serious points on them.
And that's where a guy like Grady Jarrett, a team captain coming in from the outside, I thought that was an interesting exchange this week in the locker room where, I asked him his response to Ben Johnson's challenge about, the practice habits not being up to speed. And he eventually got around to he's the leader. He says it, then we got to respond. But it took him a little while to get there. And when Grody followed up and was like, well, do you agree with that? He just totally avoided answering the question, was like, I'm just looking forward to playing the Cowboys. So, because to me, hearing what you're saying, like, that's the guy that I would be looking at being like, no, this is not acceptable.
Exactly.
This is losing culture, losing habits
Correct.
here. And I don't know. It just I know they're 0-2 and they haven't played well, so it's hard to point to any positives. But I'm not sure everybody's on the same page right now.
I mean, for him, he's like, look, I'm dealing with a knee injury and I'm out there practicing. I don't want to hear that because I bust, I give it my all wherever I am. Don't lump me into this. But on the other side, and it's an awkward spot for him, he might want to acknowledge what's going on around me. I need to lead these guys better. I don't know.
Yeah, I would imagine if we watch their whole practice, because I know you guys can't watch the whole practice, right? You can just watch the first part of it. I guarantee if we watch the whole practice from the time from when they first started the season to now, I bet you the same mistakes happen, the false starts, the penalties. I bet you undisciplined things defensively, right? Not reading our keys, things like that. Guys going off sides. I bet we see a combination of that all in the practice. But media, we cannot check out the whole practice. I guarantee that stuff's creeping in. And they wonder, well, why? I don't know. We had a good week of practice. What's a good week of practice? You know as a player if you had a good week of practice or not. You're not going to sugarcoat it. But a lot of times people will sugarcoat things because they want to send out a certain message. But it's completely opposite.
Well, and unfortunately, I know the time that myself and this guy we're bringing on the show right now, Adam Johns, who's out at Soldier Field, more times than not when we've heard we've had a good week of practice line, that usually means they're losing football games. I don't want to hear about the practices. I want to hear about how they're playing good on Sundays. Right, Johnsy?
Mark Trestman had a lot of good practices. A ton. Like every single day was a good practice. But as we found out later from former players who played for him, some of those days weren't so good at all.
But my point is that when you're winning football games, that you don't hear Andy Reid being like, we had a great day of practice.
No. It's like a concept. It's like how everybody gets a participation trophy. Oh, give them a trophy because they had a great practice. It doesn't matter.
But Johnsy, along these lines, what's your read as to why Ben put it out there the way he did this week?
Well, I think there's so many different layers and so many different ways you could go with this, Carm. Like, when I first heard him deliver this message, like standing there in the corner of the press room, I'm like, oh, he needs to get his own players in here. He needs his own guys in here. This is going to be a team on the verge of significant change if he doesn't get the type of practice habits, the type of whatever he's looking for at practice every single day. Like, this team is going to go through changes, and we know it's just part of what happens with regime changes, and we know Ben Johnson will want to bring in his own guys, but I thought it was an early message about what the potential of that future could look like, just in terms of, like, who's going to be here, who wants to be here, who wants to give it the level of intensity and the attention to detail that we're looking for, because that's what I heard. I've been through this enough to know that a head coach is looking for his guys. Like, and then, like, I guess in a micro sense, I guarantee you he was still unhappy with how things unfolded in Detroit and just the intensity and the physicality that the Lions played with and how the Bears are just unable to match it. So that's how I kind of look at how he was trying to get messages across this week.
So, Johns, all the struggles that the Bears have had offensively, consistently moving the ball throughout the game, playing against the Cowboys, we saw how they struggled last week against Danger Russ and the Giants. Is this the week the Bears offense gets back on track?
I think, Corey, they're going to be good early on. I think they're going to be able to move the ball. To me, it's, can you match what Dak Prescott is doing? Can you match the touchdowns that the Cowboys are scoring with your own touchdowns? I mean, if you're sending out Cairo Santos, to finish off your drives, for field goals, for 3 points, I could see positives within those drives, but this game is going to require plays made in the end zone, passing that goal line, because I feel like the Cowboys, they're going to put up some points. It's just the reality of the Bears defense right now, down multiple starters. I think the Cowboys, regardless, would have been a challenge with Jalen Johnson, with TJ Edwards. I think they're that good, that potent offensively. But to me, if I'm looking at how this unfolds for, well, the offense right now that I'm watching warm up here at Soldier Field, you have to match the output of the Cowboys offense. You have to stay on the field yourself.
You know, I don't know why I'm just thinking about this, but 2 years ago, week 3, the Bears were
in the 41-10 Chiefs game.
Yes, late afternoon window, America's game of the week, went on the road. Now, at least that was the Kansas City Chiefs. This is not the Kansas City Chiefs, but they're probably capable of scoring at the same rate. So I'm just hearing you think about or say that, Johns, is kind of where my head's at too, because what the Bears couldn't do a couple years ago, which is why Caleb Williams is here, was keep up in a game like that. And they didn't have the coaching. They didn't have Ben Johnson. So I do think that this is, just with that game in mind, a good barometer to see, okay, now do you have all these things that you supposedly have? Can you keep up in a game like this, limit the negative plays, and score a ton of points? Because it's probably going to be necessary today.
I think that's part of something just in terms of what like Ben Johnson was saying this week, Adam. Like when he was when look, the defense gave up a 52 burger. That's awful. But when Ben Johnson starts, as he continues to talk about playing complementary football, where he's looking for a spark from a different phase. When one phase of your team, the defense in this example in Detroit, is getting gashed, you need another phase to step up and deliver some plays. And you're right. That's why Caleb Williams is here. That's why Rome Odunze is here. That's why Colston Loveland's here. It is to answer some of the high-power offenses that the Bears are going to run into this year. Yes, the defense has to stop them. Yes, giving up 50-something points isn't good. But you know what? If Caleb Williams stays on the field and there's not 3 and outs and there's no turnovers, like that's a good thing too. That helps your defense adjust. It helps your defense get a break. And we didn't get enough of that. Like the Bears looked for that in Detroit. And Ben Johnson's offense and Caleb Williams couldn't deliver it in some key moments in Detroit.
Have you had eyes on the Flus, Johnsy? Is he shaking hands with anybody of note?
He's shaking hands and kissing babies, Carm. No, I did. He came out with the rest of the defense. I'm looking for him right now. There he is. As they go through the team drills, he was like clapping, Carm, like incessantly nonstop as I almost said the Lions, as the Cowboys were taking the field. So, this means a lot to him. He was running individual drills during the warmups, which is something he never did with the Bears. I know he's in a different situation now with the Cowboys, but to see him out there looking very into it, a lot of enthusiasm, at least going through the pregame routine with the Cowboys. This means a lot to him. Like I know what he was saying in Dallas, kind of sidestepping the questions about his return here, but this game means a lot to him, especially with his defense struggling as well.
Johns, have you seen Shamar Turner warming up out there? Have you seen him get off the ball? You see how he's looking, moving around? Because we need some reinforcement, especially at the 3 technique position. We need somebody to be a rocket in that middle. I don't know if you saw him warming up, how he's looking.
It's funny, Corey. The time that I saw him the most was actually in Detroit. So he was like the first player to take the field before the Lions game. Now, obviously, he was inactive, but he was going through a lot of different things, a lot of different drills with his position coach and some of the strength staff, just going through different handwork, his get off, all that stuff, pregame for a long time before the Lions game. So I think that's encouraging. Just talking to Jeremy Garrett, his defensive line coach, not too long ago. I think with Turner, it was just a matter of time before he was active because he did miss a lot of time, literally almost the entire duration of training camp with what he suffered his injury on the first day. So really didn't play in the preseason. So I think it was just a matter of time before he was active. And they're going to need some type of interior pass rush because let's face it, the pass rush across the board from the front four has been lacking since the start of the season.
How did his explosion look in that what you saw last week? Because obviously he's a very explosive player. Did he seem like he got that back, like he's healthy?
Yeah, he looks good. He looks quick. And just to compare and contrast with like Grady Jarrett with his knee maintenance, like that's the thing for him to go through. And, he's well into his career, so, he doesn't need the practice reps. But seeing him go through some individual drills a couple days inside the Walter Payton Center, he looked a little bit slow. Or Turner is a bit different. He's the young player, with the quickness, with the get-off, with the physicality I think you need up front right now.
That's all you had to say, quickness to get off. You had me at that, baby.
Actives for Chicago.
Let's go.
Number 6, defensive back Tyler Gordon.
Hey,
Number 11 at third quarterback
we'll
Case
knock out
Keenum.
your prediction right
Number
now.
33
But the,
defensive back Jalen Jones.
sorry, that's extremely obnoxious, the press box.
Yeah.
You hear that? You can hear that?
Oh, yeah. I couldn't
Loud
get
as
my
heck.
That's he's
question.
talking right now.
He's like, wait, what did I say?
It's a busy press box, guys. It's tough to find. There's a lot of media members from Dallas over here where I'm sitting. They're getting some CHGO analysis right now.
Yeah, well, the Cowboys.
The
Cowboys run deep in their press corps, just like the Bears.
Number 69.
My question was going to be, because you did pick the Cowboys to win, just why did you end up going the Cowboys direction?
And number 93.
I could see this game playing out in a very similar fashion as things played out in Detroit, where the Bears defense, it's going to struggle. They're going to be gashed a bit. But for the early going, I think the Bears offense can move the ball. I think Caleb Williams is going to have another successful opening series. I think whatever Ben Johnson is scheming up initially, it's working. I think it's going to be a good half for Caleb Williams. My question is whether or not he can avoid that 3-and-out, that turnover, that short possession where the defense has to come back out in the field. Can he get touchdowns as opposed to Cairo Santos field goals? I think that's going to be a problem for the Bears. So I see a lot of yardage for the Bears. I see them moving the ball, but I just can't see them keeping up right now offensively with what Dak Prescott wants to do, and especially with all his weapons across the board.
Well, it could be worse. You could be Atlanta, who got blown out 30-0 to the Panthers and benched Michael Penix, and Kirk Cousins played in the fourth quarter. So let's not do that.
Yeah, we don't need
NFL is a
that.
weird league. They went into Minnesota last week,
Had a great
beat
win.
the Vikings. The Vikings crushed the Bengals today. It's the NFL. It just shows you anything can happen today over there on the
Yeah.
lakefront.
Yeah.
Any given week. I was on record saying this last time. I'd be surprised if the Bears are completely blown out, but I said that before the Lions game too, so I don't know how I feel about saying that right now.
And I know the Packers are in danger of losing to the Browns right now, too. So
8.5 point or 7.5 point
Any,
favorite.
any given Sunday.
crazy. All right, Johnsy, we'll talk to you after the game. Thanks for jumping on with
All right.
us.
See you, fellas.
Here's Adam Johns. Make sure you're following him on Twitter at Adam Johns during the game for all the updates from Soldier Field and our CHGO Bears account too. Pat Norton's over there. Follow him. They'll have you covered at allchgo.com. Johnsy will join us on the post game, which is a good reminder that post game link is already up for you, so you can hit the notification on there. You'll know exactly when we go live. Usually, as soon as the game is over. But sometimes games go long, sometimes they go short. So then you'll know right when we start on our post-game show, and Greg Braggs will be here to join us for that as well. We mentioned that Bet365 offer where you go up 17 points.
Yep.
The Rams are now losing to the Eagles. They were up 17 earlier in that game. So that is the perfect example of one of those paying off for you.
Shout out Bet365. Way to cash that. What's also happening today is Pittsburgh beat New England, which a lot of people have been high on the Patriots. Apparently, Will Campbell, 4th overall, a lot of people loved him, did not have a good day.
Oh, really?
Got smoked.
Well, I saw Drake May throw an end zone interception. That was fun.
Yeah, so, for those who want to dunk on polls for Ozzie Trapillo, it is still early in the Trapillo.
But still, the fact that he's not active, though, come on.
It's not good. It's not good. Not good. And, Ursery, they could add starting as a left tackle for the
Could have had
Texans.
a running back with one of those picks.
Yeah, no. Right now, the draft is less than stellar, but it's unfair after 2 games to evaluate it. We'll give them at least one more. We'll see how they do today.
It's unfair, but you still I'm a big first impressions guy, and when you see Michael Williams, the 49ers right now,
Well, sure.
through 2 games, just shooting up the defensive rookie of the year.
But how did you know that you needed an edge rusher?
That's a good point. None of us thought that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Of all the things,
No
we were
one-
like,
no
oh,
one's-
they're good.
yeah. No one's been sitting here saying, you're right. That's a good point.
It made. Listen, you needed a second tight end weapon that they don't use. Over
Yeah,
the guy.
that's what I was a little confused about. But hey, who can't cry over spilled milk, right? This is a situation we're in. Have to make the best of it. So you know what you got to do. You got to dial up the blitz. Yeah, you get your tight ends involved.
Yeah. And seeing the chat from Levy TV, Keyshawn Jenkins is having a great start to his NFL career too.
Yeah.
Quinshawn, too. Also
What did
Quinshawn.
I say?
Keenshawn.
Quinshawn, Keen. My bad. My bad.
What's your favorite game at Almost Home again?
Big Butt Hunter. Hey, they stay open late at Almost Home. I love Almost Home. When are we going to Almost Home? Cubs playoffs, baby.
Yeah.
Deep run.
The part that I was most excited what John said is Turner looked explosive. That's what I'm excited about. It'd be nice to have somebody that's going to fire off the ball, especially in the interior.
Yeah.
Especially at a 3 technique, because watching his film coming out, I mean, that guy was so explosive, powerful, disruptive. So if he is truly healthy, dude, get off the dang ball. I'm going to be watching him, and you guys tune into him on the line when he's out there. Hopefully he can make an impact.
The Green Bay Packers just had a game-winning field goal attempt blocked
From how
by
far?
the Cleveland Browns. I didn't have the exact number, but it was.
Weren't
They
they
were
in the-
definitely in range.
They were in the red zone, were they not?
They
They were on the Cleveland 27, I
How much
believe.
times left?
That's amazing.
guy just got around the
25.
edge, laid out. That is.
That's a hell of a
Oh, it's
play.
actually the big guy in the middle got it. Okay.
Browns have the ball at their own 47.
Well, yeah, because the ball bounced back towards midfield. They almost were able to scoop and score that thing, which would have been huge.
Browns win. Bears win. 1 game back. Let's go.
Well executed there, by the way. You always have your block side.
Yeah.
The back side that's not blocking, you have them get upfield in case that ball is blocked. A lot of times that's where it ends up. You can pick it up and get yards.
Score. Special teams 1-on-1, baby.
There you go.
Bet the Browns last week.
I
didn't bet
did
this
want to respond to what you were talking about, though, and it actually, ironically, has to do with field goal block.
Okay.
Because Javon Dexter, they were running a field goal block where he's the guy who's supposed to get through and block it. Why are we the guy that has the slowest get off, why are we designing that for him?
I don't understand. Makes zero sense.
Like, I get that he's long and you want
Yeah.
the size and all that, but
you
if
need
you
to get
can't
off
get off the ball, field goal block is all about your get off.
Especially,
You don't have
yeah.
enough time.
Yeah. The thing is, he has to split that gap, get his hands up
Yeah.
quickly. But if he's getting off slow as can be, it's not going to matter how tall, how long his wingspan is.
Did you ever have a field goal block?
Yeah, I've had a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe like 3.
'Cause I would think you'd be perfect for it.
Yeah. Just try to get your paw up there and hit it. But it makes a huge play in the game.
Yeah.
I mean, this Cleveland game, right? It could come down to that.
Special teams.
Special teams matters.
You get that field goal block. How much does it hurt?
Oh, you don't feel it at all.
Don't feel it. You're just
Because when you're a man,
yeah,
you don't
yeah.
feel it.
No, I know that was coming.
You're like tennis, like, oh, my ankle.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
No, but it is we'll practice blocks in practice.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel good.
No.
But you tell them, hey, you get one in a game, you
Yeah.
won't feel it.
No, you won't because you're so excited. The
it
adrenaline's
won't
going.
Unless you
huge.
break your finger, then you might feel it.
Yeah, it'll be worth it.
It depends. Ronnie Lott, he cut off one of his back in the day.
Yeah, no. I mean, listen, you all are
That's
insane.
why they gave you 10.
Yeah, no, I get it. Listen, anything for the victory, baby. What do you need that finger for the rest of your life? You got 9 other fingers.
Yeah.
Right.
Illini Bubba's asking, my question is, what is tougher, being a Bears fan or an Illini football fan? Of course, the obvious answer to that is being a Wisconsin or Northwestern fan.
Yeah. Northwestern is definitely harder now. Hey, they let my guy Fitz go, and since then, who knows, man?
Cats
Hey,
had a good week.
Well, you know what?
they had a bye week.
Fitz might have
Excellent bye.
Fitz might have a couple jobs open there for him.
Hey, man, I
both
root for him.
places.
I hope he finds a home somewhere. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to Iowa when Kirk Ferentz retires. Honestly, I can see that.
I don't know if that's
Browns are
happening.
trying to kick a 55-yard field goal to win the game.
All right, we'll tell you what happens there after this because we are going to play you Dio Odangbo.
Pass rush.
Pass rush. Well, I talked to Dio earlier in the week. The locker room was a little more calm during this interview.
Okay, good.
big target on this defense's back after last week. Like, how are you digesting it? I know you guys got to be hungry to get back out there and show. Like, what are you looking at? Like, hey, if we do this better, things will look a whole lot better.
Just executing and doing our jobs on a play-to-play basis, and not putting our eyes in the right place.
Yeah. So when you're assessing yourself right now, like what are you liking? What you're seeing? You flashed a bunch of points, and then like where do you think like, oh, I could do? Is there anything that's bugging you? I guess.
I'll just say executing. Like I said, on a play-to-play basis. Not letting. You can do the right thing for 50 plays, and one person. If everybody picks one play to get out their gap, and picks one play to, out of 50, that's 11 plays for, one play for each guy. That's 11 plays. That's 11 explosives right there. So everybody's just doing their job.
Is it kind of like, hey, we got to trust each other right now? Like you're gonna do your thing, I'm gonna do my thing. It's all gonna come together.
Yeah, I think it just comes down to trusting each other, not trying too hard to make the play, just do our job.
And what's DA telling you last one here? Like, what's his message been?
Just pretty much the same thing. Play fast and just like I said, do our job. Trust each other to do, each other, or trust each person to do their own job and not worry about, let me try to jump into this gap to make a play and then it bounces to the next gap. That's, where big plays happen. It really comes down to, trying too hard to make a play and exposing yourself in that area.
Does it feel different than like a young player? Like, okay, I'm trying to make the team versus like, oh, I got a contract that I have to live up to that. It's like, is that a different feel of pressure? Is it all? I mean, you just want to perform on a Sunday period.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you want to perform at a high level, but there's definitely an expectation to perform at a certain level. Being a leader on the team, being someone who's older on the team, there's an expectation to perform at an even higher level and be the X factor in a sense, and not just do your job. It's really dominate your position. So. And
you've wanted this, bottom line.
Absolutely, yeah. This is what you pray for days like this. You pray for the opportunity. Pressure is a blessing, opportunity is a blessing, and anybody who asks for more than opportunities, I'm grateful. So it's an opportunity.
Appreciate you.
So that's my man Dio, who needs to play better today.
Yeah, they need him to have a big
Emma's
game.
wearing a Caleb jersey today. She looks amazing, ready to go.
Okay.
Let's go Bears.
Flexing on them.
What? It's fantastic. The Packers just lost to the Browns.
Woo! Okay, fine.
On a
That's
block.
more important.
Browns block the Packers field goal. Browns get set up for a 55-yarder on the other end, drain it, and that is a stunner.
What about the Eagles game?
And then the Eagles game, especially if you happen to be I brought it up earlier, the Bet365 early payout offer. This is why you want to take advantage of that. The Rams were winning by 19 points at one point in this game. And so even when I brought it up earlier, Eagles had come all the way back to take a 1-point lead. But the spread was 3.5 or 4.5, depending on when you bet it. So technically the Rams were still covering. You're like, oh, we're safe. Rams lining up for a go-ahead field goal to win it. Jordan Davis blocks it, picks it up, no time remaining, returns it for a touchdown. The Eagles cover.
It was 26-7 Rams. The Eagles scored 26 points in the third and fourth quarter unanswered to win by a touchdown. That's wild.
I know a lot of people who are on the Rams today for a lot of good reasons. Yeah. That is the definition of a bad beat. Unless you use Bet365 and got the early payout offer.
That's true.
Shout out Bet365.
Yeah. I think that just shows how good the Eagles are, despite how far they were down in this game. They found a way to get it done, and I think that's the mark of good teams. Obviously, the Bears aren't there yet, but that's something they should try to attain because that's crazy. Like, literally last week against Kansas City, right, it could have went either way. This week they're down by 19 at one point. Find a way to get it done. I mean, hats off to them, man.
Yeah, A.J. Brown's been terrible. The first 2 weeks he had 6 catches combined. Today he had 6 catches for 109 yards and a touchdown. Big bounce back for him. The Eagles are very good.
But bringing it back to Deo, right?
But real quick, the Packers losing the Browns. You want to have some Bear optimism going to this one. That is a game you absolutely thought they would have, and they didn't get it.
Can I give you a little nugget on that, by the way?
Matt LaFleur in September was 8-1 as a road favorite or some crazy stat that like dude never loses that game either, and he lost. What do you got?
Does the name Andre Schmidt ring a bell to you, Mark Carman?
Northwestern ball boy? I have no idea.
Andre Schmidt was
Schmidt dog?
the camp kicker
The camp kicker?
the Bears had.
Camp Nebagamon kicker?
2023. He went to Vernon Hills High School.
Andre Schmidt was in camp?
Yep.
Like, sort of vaguely have a remembrance of him now. A little bit.
He played college football at Syracuse.
Bet I loved him at camp.
Born in Lake Forest, went to Vernon Hills High School. Shout out to the Cougars.
Okay.
And was the Bears camp kicker, who they did not keep.
And that's who hit it for the Browns?
He is now the Browns kicker, and he got the walk-off against the Green Bay Packers.
That's
Chicago
wild.
guy.
That's wild.
Ice in his veins. Killer. Would be nice, right?
Right.
Robbie Gold-esque.
Braggs in the stand, $2 super chat. Packers lose. Ha. Ha. Losers.
Tell him, man. Hopefully you brought your
Yeah.
Taco Bell with you, buddy.
You know he did. And we're worried about Gregory because after he screamed at everybody for the picture today, I think the voice is not in great shape.
But we were talking about with Dale, right? Obviously, Carm, you interviewed him in the locker room. He had a great first week, disruptive. The pass rush was there. And then week 2, when you had 2 of the better tackles in the league, kind of non-existent, right? Taylor Decker and Sewell. So let's see how he bounced back this week. What I noticed in week 1, he was doing a lot of what Rod Marinelli used to call a level rush, right? You get the guy up the field, come back to the quarterback level, get your sacks. That's how he was getting pressure. And then this week, he did that spin move that you said he was doing all during training camp where, you're literally not doing a rip with it and just trying to spin, and all of a sudden they snatch you up. So interested to see what he can do this week, right? If we can get some pressure, because he's somebody that they expected and they paid him big money to be productive out there. What's that game?
I'm losing my mind. These field goals right now going on. The Jets just blocked.
Oh, shoot.
A Bucs field goal that would have iced the game. It would have gone up 2 possessions, blocked it, and returned it. He leapt right over the A-gap, which is legal as long as you don't
touch.
leverage. You can.
Is that Sauce Gardner who did that?
That's crazy.
I can't tell.
It's number 9. For some reason, I thought
Special
Sauce-
teams,
McDonald.
special teams, and some more special teams.
And he scoops it and scores, and now
That's wild.
with the extra point, the Jets will go up by 1. That is so, dude. Just goes to show you right now, special teams, these blocked field goals.
Matters.
This is insane.
Cody DDD with the greatest chat.
Oh, you're going to need that pillow.
Yeah, let me borrow it.
Special teams mania, Hoge. Control yourself. That's funny.
Yeah. Should we talk about our predictions? Because unlike Braggs, who's talking smack to the Packers, I did think about texting my group of Packer buddies. And then I thought better of it because I don't want to subject myself to responses the rest of the day.
Yeah. Stuff goes sideways with this game.
Right. So let's get to the predictions. And the thing that stands out to me is we have 8 people on this panel picking games, including Lance Briggs, Jerry Zuma. There are two picks for the Bears. I thought there'd be more. So 6 of us went with the Cowboys.
Yeah.
And Carm is hanging out in meatball land with Greg picking the Bears. Explain yourself.
Well, it's just always been my dream to get invited to Meatball Island and to be best friends with Greg Braggs, both on the set and off the set. And so that's why I picked the Bears to win today, because I felt it would be a good olive branch for me and Greggy. No, look, I had a hard time picking the Bears today. It wasn't an easy one. But I did look at it from a number one, I'm just not willing to punt on the season, so I cannot pick against him today. I just wasn't. If we're being honest, that was my number one reason. I'm not willing to pick against him right now. So that's not a great reason, admittedly. But as I tried to develop some level of optimism for the Bears, say in the crazy NFL that we're talking about right now, This is a Super Bowl game for the Bears. They have to win this game. You got embarrassed. Your head coach is irate at you. He's calling out everything. So you're at home in a get-well game against not a great football team. Come on. One time, get it done. And now, by the way, I hadn't seen the stat that Biggs put out there, that the Bears, when a team scores 30 or more points, the Bears in their last 49 games when they've given up 30, they're 0-49. 0-49. Yet I have them winning 35-31. So I would feel more comfortable if I had like a 24-23. Somehow the defense plays a little bit better. We hold it down. But I don't care what the score is. Just get a win today.
I know that stat sounds like jarring, and it is 0-49. But does it really surprise you when you really think about it?
No. Not one
They don't
bit.
score 30 points.
Well, but the other one that came out this week that people were talking about on 23 points.
I know. I saw Spiegel talking about that.
They're 0-25 on 23.
The last 25 times they've given up 23 points, they've lost.
That is hard to do. You couldn't beat one team 24-23, 27-23.
Yeah.
It's been rough, team. It's been rough.
Hey,
Hopefully
you're right.
thank you. I don't have to give my explanation. So I have the Cowboys winning 30-28 because of that.
There you go.
I got the Cowboys winning big, 37-21.
You
I'm not
went all the way in.
Yeah, I'm not feeling good about this. I think Eberflus is going to be charged up and ready to have his best performance against Caleb. He's been around him. He knows his weaknesses. He knows his strengths. I just not confident. I think the offense will do great in the first half. Second half, they just haven't been able to put it together.
I'll celebrate on screen post game.
Okay.
Let's go. Let's go. One time.
Well, I think we can all agree this is a game the Bears have to have. It is a big game. It is one they can win. Let's get to some supers before we jump off and go watch this thing. Giuseppe, $5. Swift gets 20-plus touches. We win. The D will step up. Watch. Bear down. See you guys next week. Remember, Swift dealing with an injury this week. Something to keep in mind. Which is why I should have said that earlier. It's one of the reasons why I like that DJ Moore prop of getting over 2.5 rushing yards. Jacob, $2. Where is Ozzie? This is so confusing.
He's learning.
He's learning, and he's going to play, according to the head coach, even though he plays right tackle where they already have a right tackle.
Searching for Trapillo or anybody really at this point.
Sangray, $5. Second tight end that you don't use. Who's third best tight end in the draft after Tyler Warren, who's awesome, and even Mason Taylor. There you go. Braggs, $2. 87 at Medina. I mean, really, the only upset in all this is that it took to the end of the show for him to bring this up somehow on a show that he's not even on.
And he played from the women's tees, and he took 3 off of every tee. So stop it, Braggs.
Well, I talked to the guy that played with him also. Sam was a fan of the show that hooked him up at Medina. He said that Braggs cheated just like nonstop.
Yeah.
It doesn't surprise me at all.
Well, I asked him if he played a par 3 and par 3 course, and he just responded with the scorecard, which was he didn't really seem to understand. I don't doubt your ability to fill out a scorecard. I doubt your ability to count.
Yeah. He said it was winter rules all day long. He was just, he's
fluffing it up.
It's
COVID rules, too. You hit the pin, right? You're good.
Right. In the sleeve, all sorts of putts were given.
Right. Yeah. Also, Braggs in the stands, $2. Carm wore Bob Newhart pants today.
Which is why I'm lying about Greg cheating on his golf game today, because you will respect these pants. These are great pants, elite brand, and I had some serious cleanly issues with these, and Jackie worked super hard to fix them, and so I'm wearing them proudly today.
Yeah, we got one more from Braggs in the stands.
You will never be invited to Meatball Island.
No, don't
Get out of here.
That's where I hang out with moms.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go watch football, guys.
Ivy Chillin became a CHGO Supporters Club member as well. He already started using his exclusive emojis that only he could use, him and the other members.
You. Whoa, easy there. What's up with him and Carm? Meatball Island, there's a lot of questionable stuff being said.
Yeah. Woot's emotional support pillow.
Yeah.
Let's hope you don't need this post game.
I hope
It's a good item here.
Giuseppe's got it, by the way. These are Lululemon. Look at that, knowing the brand.
There we go.
I'm going to go watch football. You guys
Do it.
keep doing what you're doing.
Talk to you guys after.
Post game, as soon as the Bears game's over, win or lose, we'll be here. We'll break it down. After that, we got brick by brick after show. So at least 3 hours of post game coverage coming your way as soon as this thing is over. Plus Hogan John's recap tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Got you covered here. Make sure you subscribe. Hit that like button. Appreciate you. Talk to you after the game. Big one. Bears got to win.
We all silly like the mayor.